going into the annals of history, if you will.
Annals is a perfect word. I am standing here trying to face any flag in the whole world because I'm in my house and there are no flags. But if I could, I'm facing some direction, have my hand over my heart, and I bow to this man.
Steve King, you know what? Will wonders never cease? What did he just say this week? He had some massive amount of crack pottery that was crazy.
Oh, crack pottery. Gosh, you tell me. There's been so much.
I know.
The King family.
Yeah, you're right. It's so crazy. But what I wanted to talk to you as we come back is, as we all remember, that fine filmmaker, I think he's the political version of the guy who made Plan 9 from outer space. What was his name? Ed Wood. He is the political Ed Wood who made the Sarah Palin documentary. It was called something like, it was basically
Media Malpractice: How Obama Got Elected.
Right, and saying that it was basically this Sarah Palin hit machine that got Barack Obama elected. Like Sarah Palin had nothing to do with her own demise, zero.
She was just a bystander. The way he describes the film is it's to correct the historical record with regard to how the new media influenced the election of Barack Obama and the destruction of Sarah Palin's candidacy.
That's right.
And now they're on sale for only $7, and he dumped them all on the Tea Party. There was an email that went out, and it's the Tea Party is selling these for $7, but they're actually only selling them for $5 because $2 of each DVD will go directly to the Tea Party Nation, and it's a perfect win-win for conservatives, they say.
Well, what's so great, too, and I love, and when you go to the Political Carnival, which you definitely do because the videos there are so great, and the way that Laffy talks, she has a new acronym for Sarah Palin constantly, and just the way she phrases things, it's so great to set up the story. It's amazing. But she has a video of this guy who on a dating show.
Yeah,
and like you go, oh, who is this guy? Is he a filmmaker? No, he's on literally the most low-rent version of The Bachelor. I think it's just called like The Geek Who Will Never Get Laid, I believe is the name of this reality show. It's a show I've never heard of.
Right. No, it's called The New Dating Story, which was on, okay, you ready? The Learning Channel.
Oh,
the Learning Channel.
Brilliant.
Yes, and it's off the Learning Channel now, by the way. And apparently John Ziegler didn't learn much or didn't impart any of the learning that he was supposed to have imparted. It was a half-hour premise, and a woman is supposed to be set up with two separate dates. And at the end of the show, she's supposed to check her answering machine to see if either or both of them would call her back, and then everybody gets $100. So basically, John Ziegler sold himself for $100, went on the show with somebody who was a liberal woman from Long Island, and nothing could go wrong with that, right?
No, sounds perfect.
And so all he did, this was just hysterical, because I got to see some of the outtakes because my husband worked on the show, and all he did was complain about the wind, and he was cranky, and he spent a whole lot of the day talking about himself and how he's a filmmaker and a radio host, but you see, he got fired, but he calls that not really a firing, but that he got laid off because he's so controversial, and then he spent a lot of time on his cell phone. This is on the date, on TV, on his cell phone.
Watch the video. It is so fantastic. You must watch the video because really nothing can capture. The video itself is so crazy, and to think that this guy had his 10 minutes of fame, and that the mainstream media was like had him. He was on I saw him on every show, hawking that stupid movie.
Did you notice that? He's always yelling at somebody. He's always getting kicked out of places, and he's yelling. And I've got to tell you this, though, the money quote from the show. He said to the date that he thinks women are foolish, and that he believes that marriage should have contracts that come up for renewal every 5 years, and that he says, quote, I realize talking about women and being rational is an oxymoron.
Okay, you know what? And it's a wonder that guy has to go on a dating show that's on a third-tier cable channel. Awesome.
He needs $100. What do you
I know.
want?
Well, speaking of that, because I want to talk just a bit about, did you see Tony Perkins' latest war on the gays?
I heard, yes. I did a little reading on that. I just, was getting caught up because I'm here on the West Coast, so I'm 3 hours behind you all.
Right.
But, go ahead.
So I'll just read you the quote. It's pretty awesome. He's homosexual. He believes that homosexuality is a crime, and that if Barack Obama wants to allow gays in the military, that he is he's forcing the U.S. military to circumvent law. And so this is the quote that I liked so much. And just starting out, I just have to preface this by, you should disregard anything that starts out with speaking to Pat Robertson yesterday on his 700 Club. Just anytime anyone says that, just realize you're going to get comedy gold. You're not going to get facts, you're going to get comedy gold. But let me finish to see what he says. So he says, speaking to Pat Robertson yesterday on his 700 Club program, Perkins stated that he believes that homosexual conduct is a criminal act and that homosexual behavior is a crime, as adultery, and the president should uphold the law, not order the military to either circumvent or ignore it.
Oh, well, he's a very open-minded type. First of all, sidebar. I wrote comedy for the Family Channel, and Pat Robertson would not let me use the words toilet paper. Enough said.
Why? Is that biblically incorrect?
Apparently it was for a
Apparently
puppet.
paper shouldn't touch butt. Is that one of those things in the Bible that it says paper can't touch butt? It's a sin.
Apparently, well, anything that touches butt is a sin to him, but...
That's because he's never had anything touch his butt.
Of course not. Let's go no further with that one.
I will, stopping right there. It's we are listening to a family show.
Yes, we certainly are. But yeah, in terms of gayness being illegal, basically that's what he was saying, that gayness should be illegal. Gay rights should not exist. People should not love one another. You know, I'd like to see what it would be like if he. I wonder if is he possibly a closet case?
Well, you know, I always theoretically think when there's so many gigantic issues in the world to focus on, and when someone focuses on a relationship and the relationships of others that have nothing to do with greater world problems or even themselves, I always go to is that person a closet case? Well, I just always do. I'm not saying, you know, I just because it just feels like, or you're just so rich and have been given this life that's afforded a luxury to be able to focus on the lifestyle of gay folks rather than all the bigger giant issues going on in the world, starvation and the healthcare problem and the wars and unemployment. You really focus constantly on people who want to love each other and try to make that a bad thing.
Exactly. Well, this from the guy who wasn't too concerned about George Tiller getting assassinated or isn't too concerned about women's reproductive rights. So why would he care about gay rights?
That's exactly right. Laffy, we got to go. Please go to her fantastic website. It's thepoliticalcarnival.net. She's one of my favorite people who is doing amazing reporting. And when you get so tired of watching all those blobbing heads on the mainstream news, you can get great news and you can get some humor. And she's a voice in the wilderness that makes me happy. Thank you so much, dear.
Thank you, Liz.
Okay, take care.